It's Monday, and you know what that means, kind of. This feels weird. It's time to talk about the latest live weekly event from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Typically, we would cover this on a Wednesday, but of course, with Season 3 coming, everything has been a bit messed up, but we're going to talk about it today. We do, of course, have the Spring Breaks live event, valid just up until the 26th. We've only got a couple of days left for this one, but it's time to hit the Spring Break, celebrating the start of spring by inviting us to explore the island's prettiest locations. We're going to head on over, first of all, to Hong Kong Island here. The Bauhinia Blooms 3.1 mile sprint. It's cloudy, it's asphalt, max RP 600. It's quite an interesting race, this one. The Ferrari Dino 246, first of all, to kick us off with this one, the Chevrolet C1. It's classic cars, guys. It's essentially what this race is going to be focused about. Move over to the second one. Hidden down here is the Old School Summer. 63% asphalt, 37% gravel, so a bit of an off-road race. This one's going to be Marmite, the Citroen 2CV up against the Volkswagen Beetle with a minimum RP of just 150. It's a Marmite race. I'm probably going to like that one though. I like the 2CV. Then to the controversial one, the Coastal Breeze 5.5 mile clear dry asphalt sprint race. With a max RP of just 620, this is limited to the Ford GT40, the Jaguar D-Type, or the AC427. Now, this was going to be quite a difficult race for many to get into for one very specific reason. When we do head on up here towards the classic car dealership, there we go right there. Well, when we just switch across, we can see that that Ford GT40 is 15 million credits. Granted, the AC's just 2.7 million. But these cars are very expensive for one race. The Jaguar D-Type, 18 million credits. Now, there are ways of grinding credits in game, but to buy an $18 million credit Jaguar D-Type or a $15 million GT40, it's probably not going to be there for many. So I, like many of you guys, I'm going to have to pick up that AC427 for this race specifically. But we're going to get into all that when we do get there, guys. Welcome to the channel once again. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already and consider subscribing. Now, of course, Season 3 is in full motion. I hope you guys are all enjoying Season 3 as much as I have been so far. And like I mentioned, I've not yet managed to do this week's live weekly events due to all the jubilation that we've had for Season 3. So we're going to kick it off today, a little bit later than usual, but we're going to explore Season 3, what it has to offer, but with a bit of a twist. That twist, does solo mode work in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown? It's an interesting one, and for the first way of testing this, we're going to head on over towards the Bauhinia Blooms, that 3.1 mile sprint, Chevrolet C1, Ferrari Dino, with a max RP of 600. I'm going to use the Chevy C1 for this one. It's the one I've already got in the garage. But of course, what we do have there is the choice between solo mode and multiplayer mode. Now, multiplayer mode with a plus 50% of rewards. I'm going to test out the solo mode first of all here, where of course we do now have the choice of the AI level bonus from novice all the way up to expert. I'm going to use the expert 40%. We can already see some phenomenal times with the 308 GTS, other car I did forget to mention, on the leaderboards already, but I'm not going to be chasing the leaderboards today. I'm going to test out solo mode. I'm going to test out this AI level, keeping it on the maximum difficulty, that expert difficulty, to see just how much of a test this does pose for the casual player. Now, like I mentioned, I'm going to use the Chevrolet for this race. It's the one I've already got in the garage. I didn't want to purchase a second Ferrari or a Ferrari for this race. I'm going to kind of use what I've already got in the garage for these races. Now, we know the Chevrolet is not the fastest, it's not the most exciting car, but it's one we've already got, it's one we've used in previous live weekly events, so why not bring it out the garage, give it a run and see what it's like. Now, of course, we're in solo mode here. We are up against expert AI, and it's going to be interesting. Is this the fix for the casual player? Now, obviously, a few other things have happened that we're going to dive into in today's video, but focusing in first of all on this solo mode. Is it going to work? Well, so far it doesn't pose much of an issue. We can come straight into the race up against AI, we can choose our difficulty, and we can start to have a little bit of fun. Now, this is the expert AI. I've so far not driven the cleanest or the best of races, but we can see we are very competitive in a very modified Chevrolet. in another race we're going to try a stock car, but right now we're in a fully modified Chevrolet against the Expert AI on somewhat tricky road conditions, and we're fighting right at the top of the pack, and at this point we're not even driving particularly well. Of course, the Chevrolet likes to step the back end out, dipping toes off-road. We obviously know the new fixes that they've put in place to stop cheating, to stop wall riders going off-road. It's much the same, but already just 50% into this race, we've already jumped ahead of the pack. We're already in first place, and that is crucially done by not driving cleanly, not driving well, not driving optimally, not setting the car up for the race, just coming into the race and enjoying what we have. So arguably, coming into this race in solo mode with max AI difficulty, we have to say that yes, perhaps this is working. Now, there is another side to the coin. I'm not going to shy away from it. Unlike some people like to believe, I am going to give both sides of this because there is an issue, but we'll get onto that later in the video. The race itself, it's a good race. It's interesting. Once again, the reason I love these live weekly events is it pushes us to use cars that we wouldn't typically use. When else would we normally jump into the old Chevrolet? We wouldn't. So these live weekly events are still there. They're still arguably somewhat the heart and soul of the game. I do think navigation missions are probably going to take over that, but we still have the excitement, the endorphin release of coming in, trying out a new car in the live weekly events up against AI. Maximum difficulty has actually posed very little to no difficulty in this race. Now, the live weekly event itself has got a 70 point limit. We have to reach 70 points. 10 points is the reward for winning each race. So just quick maths, guys, 7 race wins and you walk away with 22,800 credits. Obviously the 1,800 for the driving assist and the 6,000 credits for the AI level bonus, having that up at expert difficulty. So with the first one being taken off the list, it did show that we can come in there, whatever car we've got in our garage that fits the race that's posed to us, yeah, it's going to be simple enough. Solo mode, expert difficulty, a car we already had. Nice and easy to come in and complete off the first race for the live weekly events. Now, we know with the upgrade we now have 5 events. Today we're going to cover off the first 3. Tomorrow we're going to jump in and do the second 2. We'll come over to the second one here, the Coastal Breeze AC427 Jaguar D-Type Ford GT40, and like I mentioned, the D-Type and the GT40 I think are unattainable. They're far too expensive for the average player. So like you guys, I'm going to come in. I have bought an AC427, but what I'm going to do for this test is nothing. No tyre changes, no setup, no upgrades. The AC427 out the box like it should be. Perhaps we might change the driving mode. We'll put it onto circuit mode. It looks more beneficial, especially in terms of top end, 195 miles per hour over the 113. It's going to be beneficial, but we will leave it on standard tyres, circuit race setup essentially. AI difficulty, we'll leave that again at 40%, and we'll come in and see, can we literally just buy a car, come into a race, have some fun, win the races and complete the live weekly events. Now, we know already the AC Cobra or the AC427 and the Shelby Daytona, very lively and they are fairly difficult to control. Even in the stock format here, we can see the 427 constantly wants to kick the back end out, and it's going to make it tricky and difficult for perhaps the average player, maybe even the seasoned player of Test Drive Unlimited, to come in and put down solid lap times, have clean races, be confident in the race that we had, as we almost took out the back of that Jaguar just there. But what we can see right here is the 427 in its stock format is relatively competitive, but we now have quick restart. We all wanted it, we've all got it. Finally, we can just come straight back in and restart that race. It's something everybody wanted in the game. We have now got it in solo mode, so yes, again, in my opinion, another great addition with the update for Season 3. But quickly recapping, or quickly restarting this one off in the race itself, we know that the 427 is very difficult to control, especially when we add power on. But having this in its stock format, Stuart Wintery, Alex 7, I know that's you blocking me on the road there, in its stock format, can we just come in and race these cars against the AI with max difficulty, be competitive, taking out our mandatory lamppost, tick that one off the bingo card, be competitive, and be able to complete these live weekly events. Now obviously in the previous race we had our fully modified Chevrolet we already bought for a previous live weekly event. Coming into this race we had to buy the AC, but we've done nothing to it. Can it still be competitive? The argument I've already got right here, 25, a quarter of the way through the race. We are competitive. We are fighting at the top of the grid there. We're not driving the best as we can. We understand that. We've not got the optimal setup. This car hasn't been built for this race. It's not been maxed out for this race. It's in a stock format, and this is what I want to see in test drive. Maybe in the future events, for these live weekly events, I don't go chasing leaderboards. I come in stock format, whether it's through solo mode or whether it's through multiplayer mode. I come in with these vehicles in their stock format and just enjoy what we have, and I feel it's what a lot of people are missing. Yes, I want to be competitive in every racing game. It's natural, it's only natural, it's why we play them. But we do miss a huge factor in these games, and that huge factor is the fact that we don't come in and just physically enjoy what we have, because this game for me is thoroughly enjoyable. It's why I've played so many hours, it's why I've made so many videos. Take us back to the old versions of TDU. I didn't care for anything else but driving the cars, enjoying it, doing the pickups, the drop-offs, the deliveries, whatever else it might have been. And I feel like we are slowly coming back to that aspect of TDU. Now, this obviously has been in the game from essentially day dot. We didn't have to modify our cars, we didn't have to tune the cars for the races, we could simply jump into them and enjoy the race, and it's exactly what I've done here with the AC427. It's competitive. Pablo's right in our tail there in the GT40. Yeah, I've had a fair bit of time to play the game, understanding the dynamics, the mechanisms of the game, so I feel like I am a little bit more seasoned than the average player. But I think what this highlights here is the fact that we can come into the game. Yes, some cars are very expensive, others not so much, but we can come in, we can just buy a car, we can jump into these races, we can be competitive, we can complete our goals. There's a lot of cans there, not as many can'ts. Now, it's not to say there aren't can'ts. We can't go in and buy every car we want to do. We can't go in and do all of the upgrades. That's the limiting factor to having money in game. It's where the grind comes from. But we can come in here and have a lot of fun, be competitive, spending the minimal amount of money required. That minimal amount, of course, was to physically buy the car. No tuning required, just come in, enjoy the race and have fun. And I had so much fun in this with the 427. I made mistakes at the start of the race, but with the implementation of quick restart, again, we don't have to come out of the race, go onto the road, load back into the race, load back into the car, then get back in. We just push that quick restart and it takes us back to the start of the race. Yes, in my opinion, it should have been there from the day the game started, but it's here now and we can start to enjoy it. We've literally just blasted through this race once again, didn't really talk much about it itself, but it was a good race for the 427. It was lively, it was leery, it took some concentration, but in its stock format it was very manageable, and again for the average player, I think it's going to be another big win for this live weekly event. Much like the last time out, 10 points for winning the race, we're at 20 now. We've got another 50 to earn through the live weekly event to the final reward, and again the rewards, another 22,800, same rewards as last time out. We would have got the first completion, but I did races beforehand. So when we're talking recently about grinding money, grinding XP in game, well, coming into the live weekly events, it's not the fastest method of course, but progressing through the game, you're going to earn that passive credit in game, you're going to earn the passive XP, the Solar Crown XP essentially. You're going to earn all that just by simply playing the game. And I think what this has now done for us with the solo mode, choosing the difficulty, being able to restart the races, is you can actually just come back in now, enjoy the races in a casual format without trying to be overly competitive, without having to spend hours tuning the car, fitting parts, taking parts off, whatever it may be, whatever it is you may enjoy. Enough rambling, we'll move over to the last race, the old school summer, 63% asphalt, 37% gravel, 2CV against the Volkswagen Beetle. And like I mentioned, this is going to be very much a Marmite race. Not a lot of people like the 2CV and the Beetles, but we're going to go into it with the 2CV that we already have. The same format as we did previously. AI difficulty, we're going to keep that at 40%. And I'm going to enjoy the 2CV because I do enjoy this 2CV. I'm on the side of the camp, I like having this in game. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the live weekly events gives us a fantastic opportunity to use cars that we would never normally use. Whether it's in the 2CV, whether it's in the Beetle, it's entirely your choice. You might not like it, you might want to stay away, that's perfectly fine. But being in the 2CV, I do personally enjoy it. And of course what we did have was the update for the cockpit camera. It's not something I tend to use all too much because of issues previously discussed with the gear stick changes on automatic cars. So largely I've actually stayed away from the cockpit view. But it has been now updated for the 2CV. That's cool. Nice to see that one happening. With this being in the game still, though, this shows that perhaps they are still listening. Now, I know a lot of people don't like using the 2CV. They don't like using the Volkswagen Beetle, and that's perfectly fine. But there are also parts of this community that do like using it, myself included. I love jumping into the 2CV. It's not fast, it's not boisterous, it's not leery, it's just something fun to jump into. It's definitely not fast. Obviously it got nerfed after Season 1, where it was absolutely bonkers. But I still enjoy coming back into my Brum Livery 2CV with all those pops and crackles coming down the rev range. It actually sounds fantastic. I like coming back into this car and just enjoying something that is slow, something that's a little bit of fun, and just playing about with it. It's brutally slow up some of these hills. We can see we're actually struggling to even hit up towards 70 miles per hour. I think we'll struggle to hit 75. Yeah, I don't really mind. I knew that coming into the race, but what I can do is start to concentrate on the racing line, clipping an apex, getting round a hairpin. Do we need to use a handbrake? How do we carry as much speed as we can? It gives us the other side of racing. And again, I quite like it. Now yes, this 2CV is modified. I did spend money to upgrade it, but that's fine. We're playing a game, we're earning money. Why not spend the money and upgrade it? It's something fun, it's something a little bit silly, it's something completely different. And it's why I do love this aspect of TDU, the live weekly events. It makes us use these cars we would never normally use. Now, the race itself, it's going to be a bit of a slow drag. Whether you want to try and be competitive or not, it's entirely up to you. The highlight of today's video is all about the solo mode. Does it work? Does it not? Arguably it does. It allows the average player, it allows every player to come into the game, jump in any car, choose their difficulty, go into the race, perhaps they make a mistake, quick restart, and just get back on with it. Now, we'll talk about multiplayer mode shortly, and the big issue that is still there, because, boy, there's a big issue there. We can focus in right in here what we have, and we would have to argue right here that solo mode is largely what we've already had, but changed slightly. Now, the slight changes, of course, not requiring to wait for the possibility of somebody else jumping into your race. You're coming in, you know you're going up against the AI, and for me that largely works. And you can also choose your difficulty. Again, that largely works. For me, I'm choosing the expert difficulty. I still don't feel it's overly difficult. We kind of highlighted it in all three races today. The close competitive one, of course, was in the AC427. We'd done no modifications to the car, and it was a very competitive race up against the Ford GT40. So I think what they have actually done here is make the game very easy to access, very easy to play with, and very easy to enjoy. There's going to be criticism, there's going to be trolls. I don't really care for it, it is what it is. You're going to get it on any game. I think what they've done is for the betterment of the game, and I actually enjoy what they've done here. Am I going to use it all too much? Perhaps, perhaps not. Maybe for the live weekly events, you know, everyone to just come on and quickly blast through them. It's going to aid us so quickly. The more XP, the more difficulty we've got, the more we're going to earn. So all in all, I think the solo mode largely works. We'll get onto multiplayer shortly. Finished off that race, got our third win, got our 30 points on the board. Same rewards once again, 22,800 credits. That will obviously change depending on the level of AI and the driving assist bonus that you do have attached to it. But we're going to get to that elephant in the room, multiplayer mode. Now, coming into the multiplayer mode, you will earn 50% more for your races. We're going to do it again here in the Citroen 2CV. And this is where the issue comes. I've actually fast forwarded this point right here. This is 10 times fast forwarded. I sat here for a long time, guys, and nobody joins the race. Now, perhaps it's just the race we came into, the Citroen 2CV versus Beetle. Perhaps nobody wanted to join it, but this has been an issue with the game since launch, and we're not going to shy away from that. It has been a big issue. Is this down to the platform lock? Is this down to the region lock? This has to be rectified. This is a big issue with the game. I want to go in on multiplayer, I want to race against other people. I'm in a fortunate position. I've got a lot of friends on this that play Test Drive. I've made a lot of friends through the community down in the Test Drive Discord, and we come on and play together. But for the average player, that multiplayer mode is going to be a big issue, and it is a big issue with Test Drive, and it does need to be addressed. I think I sat there for that recording rolling for around about 50 minutes. Nobody joined the race. Now, yes, it may just be due to the fact it was the 2CV versus Beetle race that many people may not want to do. I did mention it was like Marmite. Not everybody loves it. But we've obviously seen it with other races before, that it's very select as to the players that are going to join the race, and it will then pose the issue that multiplayer mode is a big problem in the game, and it does need to be rectified. Fingers crossed Season 4, Season 5, or maybe even into Year 2, hopefully not as long as that, but hopefully that is rectified. We've spoken about it many times before. Is it the fact that we're locked to the platform, we're locked to the region? Opening that up, I do feel, would fix it. But my understanding here is I play it on Steam, and I play in the EU district. There's still a significant amount of people playing the game at the period of time I play it. There should be people coming into that multiplayer mode to play up against me, and it just doesn't happen. So hopefully within time, hopefully sooner rather than later, that is rectified. But that right now, much like this map over here on Hong Kong Island, is a big, dark, gloomy cloud hanging over the game. Forgot the words there. It is a big, dark, gloomy cloud hanging over the game. It does need to be rectified. We're not going to shy away from that. But overall, the live weekly event I thought was quite good so far here in Hong Kong Island. Tomorrow's video, guys, we're going to jump over to Ibiza for the first time. We're going to see a live weekly event on the Ibiza map. We'll get into that race, or those races, in tomorrow's video. But as for today, guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please leave some feedback in the comment section down below. Hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Leave a little thumbs up as you exit today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.